Hello everybody, welcome to the Ftog server, Infinity Evolved, ToddytheBody here, and we are in the Bedrock dimension. I hope you enjoyed the base tour last time. I don't know, I really don't think that I'll be able to get a server tour in. If there is one, then just call it a bonus. I'm pretty sure this is the last episode because a server is coming down in a few hours. But I really wanted to build this reactor this season. So it's something we're going to do. I've got my project chest over there. I've cleared out some room down here. And yeah, let's get to it. Oh, and if you're coming here just because you searched Draconic Reactor, you missed a great season. And I hope that you join us in the one that we are about to start next. Yeah, I think we agreed on a name for it, Advent 3. I hope that that's it. I hope I'm not like saying something that's not true. Okay, and we're doing our own mod pack. Really, Thor is putting it together for us. He's a hard worker. Great guy. Check out his videos. Of course, I'll have everybody's link below. Okay, so this is where it's going to be. I hope that is enough space. I believe I have 12 blocks of wall space here. You need it. Well, I think they can be up to 10 blocks away, but we're going to have all the pieces 4 blocks away from each other. So let's just get some place blocks. You know what? I just made that awakened shovel. We are going to use that awakened shovel. We can't just make it and then like never ever use it. Oh, not that one. Let's get the dirt here. The dirt is to place things up against. Gotta have that because I said I was going to use it. Okay. So, Draconic Reactor, you're here to see that. It's going to be, what, if you don't know much about it, I hate to start talking about it and you don't actually get to see the stuff. So, I'm going to start putting it together and then try to explain as we go. This looks like a good spot. Alright, I don't want to be too close to anything. Let's just do it here. Okay, so that right there, oh, I hate how it does that. Absolutely. Can we break? Good, we can break it. You would think that if you were aiming down at the block from the side that it would, but I guess not. So you have to go straight down. There we go. You can do this in a sideways fashion. We're going to be doing it the horizontal way. Ren and Link also set one of these up. So if you haven't seen their video, go and check that out. I didn't notice that this had a green to it before. I thought it was all black. I kind of like that. Okay, and then we are going to get the stabilizers on. So can I right click this with, alright. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where the actual ball will be. So then 4 away from that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, we'll just do 4 on each side. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not even sure if you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need to have them equal distance. It just said up to 10 on the mod maker's video. Now in creative you can point at the block. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. There we go, on each side. Alright, and then now we can dig out these arms here. I thought that would be a little bit faster. I thought it was instant dig. Maybe not when we're flying. Let's try. Let's try when we're not flying. It's still not quite instant dig. Okay, and then we'll leave that 1 block above to place the core. If that is that what it's called? Core. Yep. I know. I sound like I don't know what I'm doing already. Take this as a Let's Play tutorial video, not a pure tutorial video. Alright, and then we put the core last up against it. There we go. And then take that off. Dun 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 dun. There we go. Get my precious dirt. And offline, so it's active. Okay. Extract fuel. I didn't know you can extract fuel. I thought there was just an insert. I guess I didn't pay attention to this. I did this once in creative just to make sure I wouldn't blow it all up. Okay. So now the main pieces are connected. What are the main pieces? The core is going to be the main ball. This this, can we get a name? Energy injector, sorry. That's what you pump power into to get a containment core. Let's look inside here. Okay. And the stabilizers, you pull power out of these, out of any of the four. Okay, temperature, you don't want it to go above the 2 red lines. Containment, you don't want it to be down here in the red. And the 2 red lines, I believe that's 8,000 degrees. Energy saturation. This is how much energy is in the ball buffer itself. As it gets lower, it starts to pull more power on the containment field. When it's up at 100, it pulls very little power out of the containment field. So there's kind of a balancing act here. Okay, and then the fuel conversion level, this is just how much fuel you have left. When you're up here, you're out of fuel. Down here, full fuel. Go to stats page, temperature, load factor. Anything below these 2 lines is going to be 100%, which is normal. Anything above, it starts going up exponentially, it says there in the little tip. I didn't get mine in creative above the temperature. I don't know how hard that would be, but I wasn't able to do it, and I ramped mine up pretty high. Core mass. It depends on how many blocks of awakened draconium you put inside there. You can put up to 8, which it'll say 8 meters cubed. And then you got your generation rate, how much power is generating. Now this can be confusing to talk about now with it doing nothing, so we'll come back to this right here. Field input rate is how much power is going into keeping it at the level that it's at. So it might tell you something like it needs 50 RF per tick. That's just to keep it where it's at. That doesn't mean that you need to keep it at that level to keep it from exploding. Like say if it's all the way up here, it might be like, you know, 230,000 RF per tick. But you're way up here. You can go all the way down close to the bottom here, just not at the bottom. So, you know, you could probably ramp down the power that you're putting into the containment field to, even though it says that you need 230,000 RF a tick, you could probably take it down to 70 or 50,000 and keep it right down here, and that would be fine. You don't have to worry about that too much. It might take the temperature up, but like I was saying before, I don't really see a consequence of this temperature gauge here. I was not able to get it up. I was like I maybe got it up about this high. But yeah, on to the next thing. Fuel conversion rate, and then it's in nanobuckets, so it's supposed to convert fuel really, really slow. So before we put the fuel inside and start it and everything up, let's get some of the other pieces in. Okay, and I didn't grab them, so I'll need that. Probably some redstone, this, my input output. The input output is where the ball is. You know what I was gonna do? Here. Okay. So I have the bedrock teleportation thing here. What I want it to do, and we will get this real quick so we can bounce back and forth. I want it to get one by the power ball. And please load in. Windows 10. Ugh, Windows 10. Stupid. There we go. And then I'll just sit right here, and then I can look at it. Okay. So let's set that. Powerball. Great. Okay, let's go back to our bedrock dimension. Our Powerball is full. It's at the 2 trillion, you know, it's the biggest one. Okay, so I grabbed everything. Let's start helping ourselves to this here. Alright. So this is going to go to wherever we want because we're using tesseracts. What I want to do is keep my head straight because it's the important part here. I want to set up the flow so that you don't send all of your power into the injector, because the injector will take an infinite amount of power. So if you just connect it all willy-nilly, then you will lose it all instantaneously. Okay. I think I can go like that, and then we'll cut down on some of the redstone. Okay, so when you're placing down your flux gate, and I'm using a flux gate from Draconic Evolution just because we're doing a Draconic Evolution thing, but it's not the only thing you can use. You know, RF Tools has a mod like this, or I mean a block like this, and so does Ender.io, I believe. But when you're using the Draconic Evolution one, you want it to go in the, you want to look in the direction that your power is flowing. So the power is going to be flowing to the I keep wanting to say containment field thing because that's what it does, the injector. So you look in that direction. Now, okay, so the block art here, it has the redstone kind of coming off this way, which in the tutorials and also what Ren and Link did and what I did in the creative, I had it to where the redstone was coming in from this direction. So I'm kind of curious now if it would be fine as long as it's coming in that direction. But yeah, you guys might be saying, why are you putting all these blocks everywhere? But you know, it's just kind of how I set it up when I was trying to figure it all out. So just get used to it. This is how I'm doing it. I made an extra comparator that I'm not going to use because, there we go, super jump, because I was going to try to do something with the input power, but I mean the other side, but then when I started playing with it I was like, oh, that's dumb, don't do that. Okay, so comparator there, and then blamp, blamp. Let's get these out of the way, and then we're going to right click this, and this is according to the tutorials and Ren and Link. You get containment field inverted. Alright, so then it's gonna give you a signal that's based upon how much energy is in the containment field. So if the containment field is higher, then it's going to, I think what it does is it gives you a lower amount of energy so that it'll come back down so you don't have 100% containment and using up all that power, and it will send it to this flux gate, which is supposed to regulate how much power is going through. So when you have a signal, we want it to be, and just to kind of help the buffer, I'm going to set it up pretty high. You don't have to set it up this high once it's like going and everything, but this is just safety, just to make sure that it's got enough. So when it's got no signal, then it will give no power, which will never happen. When it has 100% signal, or then it will give this much power. So when the containment is low, it starts sending a number that's higher like this, so that it has the power. When it's high, that means or when containment levels are high, that means that it sends a lower signal, which means less power going through, because we said inverted, right? Let's pull it back up. Inverted. So it's backwards. Okay, so let's see here. Now we need to set up our tesseract. There we go. Tesseract, and we need power to come in. So we're going to go to our own power pages, receiving power, and main is the power. Oh geez, why is this? Main is the power that I use to power all my machines. So that means I use to power the containment fields. So that is the one that we want. And then I will connect this when we are ready. It shouldn't start giving it power, but you know, just in case. Then we'll not connect it right away. Okay, and then the other side. Now let's just yeah, let's do the other side so that I can mess with it a little bit. Okay, we will connect onto here. There we go. And then bring that down on the ground. So this is pulling power out of the system. So that means I want my energy flow to run this way into the tesseract, right? Alright, so now at first I don't want to pull out too much power, but I am going to ramp this up and get it going. We are going to go ahead and set this. There we go. And this will be going into, so that makes sense to use that one, into the power ball. And this will be sending. Right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then I have to activate it. Everything else good? Sending. Okay. Now I think we are about ready. Let's go ahead and connect that, and then we need to get our fuel. There it is. And let's hope that we don't blow everything up. Oh, that's not what you do. You got to connect to this and then put your fuel into here. 8 is the max at one time. So we've got that. It made the nice pretty little ball. And then we are going to, oh, I don't have a, I need to load this. Do I have a loader? World anchor? I do have one. There we go. And let's get our chunks. Okay. So if I load right here, it should be fine. And we got 9 hours. That's longer than the server's gonna be up, but just for fun, just because. Let's throw these in. Okay, so now next thing is to start charging it. I believe we've got that set. Double check here. This is the moment. We're not going to be pulling out power right away. Flow is okay, I hope, anyways. And yeah, we'll just start doing it. If we blow it up, it'll make for a good video, right? Charging. So what's going to happen first? And it's actually happened really, really quickly. It gave it the containment field strength, and then now it's going to start heating it up. Now, even though this is, you would think that all the power that you need is just to get the strength up because it's not actually started yet, you're actually still using power to get this up. And then you'll need power to get the core temperature up to 2000 degrees Celsius before you can actually start this thing. So let's see, it's actually sending through 200,000 RF a tick. I'm making about half that with my other power generation, so I shouldn't be losing power too fast. And plus I had 2 trillion power, so it's not that big a deal. Let's go see how the ball is doing while that power's up a little bit, and when we come back, because it takes forever, I might, yeah, see, it's barely touching it, so we're alright. And then just to check, this is the power in, because it's going into the ball, and then the power out should be the main. Yep, main. And yeah, let's go back to our bedrock dimension, do the cheating method to get to power up real quick, because remember, the containment or the injector will take infinite amounts of power. If you do this cryo thing, it will go ahead and give it infinite amounts of power. Now, if you were to let it go up gradually, it's kind of cool because these things start to spin up slow, and then the ball starts to change colors, and then it starts to move a little bit, and you start seeing these projections come in. But we want to get this done now. You don't want to see that. You can do it yourself. So let's connect this. There we go. And that. And let's get these back. Now it should be all ready to go. Temperature should be at 2000. All right. Okay, now we are going to take some precautions? I don't know. Oh, I know what I'll do. Here, let's switch to Ender Rift. Okay, the bag of holding has reincarnation on it. That's what's called, reincarnation. So let's right click, let's send. I don't need some of these items, so we won't have them take up space. So in here, and then let's throw all of this in here. You can't, I will not get that back, and I won't be able to jump up to that, so I'll be stuck. So I do need that. Soulbound, 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 all soulbound. So at the most, if something goes wrong, I'll lose my wand. Yeah, I'll lose my wand. Okay. So now that everything is good, 2000, 50%, we got 50% energy saturation. We won't be pulling out very much because it's only on 1000, so we should be safe. But here we go. Can I get a click? Activate. There we go. And then let's and then now it should be pulling out 1,000 RF a tick, which means we are getting a loss. It says that this is how much we need, but what's actually being pulled out you can check by right here. So it's pulling out 186,000, which is not needed. You can tell because, see, my containment field is going up. Like I said before, you don't need it up that high. So once we get a good amount of number here, let's go ahead and turn this on. I wanted my replicator, I mean my relocator, so I can go back and look at my energy ball. Alright, but let's go ahead and turn this up to 100,000. So we're going to be pulling out 100,000 RF a tick. It's going to be drawing 133,000 RF a tick, and containment is still going up because we have our ranges way too high. That's okay. I want to get a nice good buffer here. Now what will happen is that when my energy ball finally fills up from all the power it had to put into this just to get it started, you will start seeing the generation rate go down and the energy saturation rate go up, because the higher that the energy saturation rate is, the lower the generation rate is, because once the buffer is full, it doesn't need to generate power anymore. But if you want to use power out of this, this comes down, which takes away from efficiency, which brings the containment field down, and it's all a balancing act, really. So since it's getting higher, I think what we can do is we can turn this up a little bit. So let's turn it up to 200,000. So now I'm pulling 200,000 RF a tick out of there and probably inserting 100. So I'm making 100,000 RF a tick right now. And generation is at 65,000. So okay, so there's a difference. I'm pulling out power, so as far as my power ball, I'm making power, but it's only generating this much, which means that I'm generating 55,000 out of that 200,000 that it's pulling out. The other 150,000 is coming out of the buffer, and that's what I was talking about before. It takes out of the buffer first, and then the reactor starts to power, like it wants to repower the buffer. So that's what you can think of this as. The power that you're getting comes out of here, and this is just to recharge this line right here. And the lower this is, the more it wants to recharge it and get it back up to the top. So it starts working harder, which brings down containment and which brings up temperature. But like I said, I've never gotten this up very high. The field strength says 50,000. Oh, and it's pulling out 80,000. So it's really not a bad balance right now. What I'm thinking of is that my power ball is actually pretty full, and this is just running on nothing. What I could do is I can go turn off my other power generation and see if it makes a difference, but that's not really what you all are here to see. You're probably here just to see this and make sure it works. So if you're scared of it, you should be scared of it. You should respect it. It'll blow up your world. But once you have that down, it's really not that hard to set up. So just to kind of go over it a little bit again, you have the power output. Okay, you have 4 blocks in between each of the things. You can put 8 blocks into as fuel. Power comes out of the stabilizers, and then you want to run it through a gate, and you want it to place the block in the direction that the power is going. Okay, and then this regulates how much power you're actually pulling from the reactor. So it's nothing that you're doing up here. If you want more power to come out, if you want to generate more power, you got to pull it from here. Okay, and then this supplies power to the containment field, which keeps it steady. Not that it has an effect or that much of effect on this. See, my power ball is full, so this is going way up. Generation is way down. So this can do, in creative I got it up to like 350,000 RF a tick, but that's because I started with an empty power ball. But it's just gonna go down, and then if I start using the power in the power ball for some reason, this will just ramp itself way back up again, and then the field strength will come down depending on how much power is coming out. So I could probably even get this down a lot further, because it's actually using more power than it's generating. Yeah, by a whole bunch. So let's take it down to 200,000. There we go. So now it's only doing 26. So I'm still losing power, but I'm generating less, and that's due to the fact that I have other ways of generating power, like the energens and all that. It's kind of supplementing my power ball with what this is not making or not sending. But this is about full now. So what was I saying? So 200,000 if you want to start it on that. I like to start it higher and then ramp it down. And then use comparators. The more comparators you use in between, the more accurate the analog will be. I don't know how to say that right. You know how it like senses the redstone signal. So like if I were to have used just one comparator and then have the redstone line come around, it would be actually a little bit less than what I want it to be. Okay, and what else? I think that's all. Oh, and put this on containment field inverted. I think that's it. So now we have a reactor up. It'll be up for the next couple hours. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. I've never made one before except for in creative, but now I've made one in survival, and I can't wait to, well, I can't wait to anything. Server's about to end. So I'll have to check you guys out in the new pack. Please come and hang out. A lot of us are going to be on the new pack. A lot of us that were in this Infinity Evolve server. So I hope to see you there. I'd like to keep this going, and you know, it's just hard to let go sometimes, especially when you work on a like, you know, like the evolved expert mode. Like, you put a lot of work in, a lot of grinding, and a lot of getting stuff together, and a lot of learning. You know, I did a lot of stuff that I haven't done before and modded. So I guess I gotta say goodbye. I'll see you all next time. We're gonna be in 1.10.2, I believe, so there will be a whole bunch more mods to learn just like this. They probably won't be as hard to build, but you know, a lot of learning. So have fun, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.